Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Always fun to dig into these things.
Yeah, today we're looking at BlockDAG.
Okay.
It seems like
Gonna make
it's,
some noise?
they are making some noise, and they're claiming to. Well, I mean, their goal is to basically be the blockchain, not just like another blockchain.
Right.
So
Ambitious.
very ambitious, and we're going to be looking specifically at their Medium article that they just released.
Okay.
And yeah, they're talking about like a big push for growth in 2025.
I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things they're really highlighting is this strategy of attracting developers to build on their platform.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that, but they've got some really intriguing details here. Like they've already managed to raise like $181.5 million,
Wow.
and they're talking about this partnership with this company called Hacker Earth.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, we'll get into that, and they're promising sort of like hinting at like a DeFi revolution. Yeah. So let's unpack all this and see what the hype is all about.
Yeah, it's good.
So first of all, like what is BlockDAG? I mean, for anyone who's maybe not super familiar with it.
Yeah. So BlockDAG, they're trying to create a blockchain platform that is really focused on speed and scalability.
Okay.
And they're doing this with this unique consensus mechanism that they've developed, also called BlockDAG.
And that's like the core of how the blockchain actually works, right?
Exactly. So unlike a traditional blockchain, which is a single chain of blocks, BlockDAG is more like a web or a graph.
Okay.
So transactions can be added to multiple blocks simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
Which means you can process way more transactions.
Ours was faster.
Much faster. And it can handle higher throughput, which is a big problem for a lot of existing blockchains.
Yeah.
They run into these bottlenecks.
Right. And that's something that, is always talked about. Like scalability is like one of the biggest challenges for blockchains that want to go mainstream. And they're claiming to have solved that.
That's their big claim, yeah.
Okay, interesting. And well, you mentioned earlier like 181.5 million they've raised.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean that's not nothing.
No, that's serious funding.
Yeah, so they've obviously got some serious backing. Some people believe in what they're doing.
For sure.
And they're also talking about getting listed on like 10 major cryptocurrency exchanges.
Oh, wow.
So that's another sign that they're kind of moving into the big leagues.
Yeah, they're trying to get that mainstream recognition.
Right.
Make it easy for people to buy and sell their BDAG coin.
Right. Okay, so that's all very interesting. But let's talk about this Hacker Earth partnership, because I admit I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, so Hacker Earth is basically a platform that connects businesses with developers.
Okay.
And they've got a huge community, like over 7.6 million developers across 133 countries.
That's massive.
It's a huge pool of talent. And so what BlockDAG is doing is they're tapping into that talent pool to build on their platform.
Okay, so it's like they're building this army of developers.
Exactly. They're trying to incentivize these developers to come and build dApps, decentralized applications.
Right. And that's a really smart move, because I mean one of the things that I've always heard is that there's like a real shortage of blockchain developers out there.
Oh yeah, it's a huge problem.
Yeah, and so if they can get all these developers from Hacker Earth on board,
They have a real advantage.
yeah, that's a big play. Okay, so how are they actually like attracting all these developers? Like are they like, offering them like stock options or like,
Well, maybe stock options, but the main thing they're doing is they're running hackathons.
Hackathons, okay.
Yeah, so they're planning 4 major global hackathons.
Wow.
Plus a bunch of smaller, more targeted events.
And these are like competitions where developers come together and build stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. And the goal is to generate over 200 new decentralized applications, or dApps, built on the BlockDAG network.
Okay, and for anyone who's listening who maybe doesn't know what a dApp is,
Yeah.
can you just quickly explain like what makes them different from just a regular app?
Sure. So a dApp is basically an application that runs on a decentralized network, like a blockchain.
Okay.
So instead of being controlled by a single company,
Right.
it's run by a network of computers,
Okay.
which makes them more secure,
Okay.
more transparent, and resistant to censorship.
Okay, so they're kind of like the next generation of apps.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And they can be used for all sorts of things, from finance to healthcare to supply chain management, you name it.
Wow. And BlockDAG is betting big on this.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of resources into building this DApp ecosystem.
Okay, so it's not just about the blockchain itself.
No, it's about the whole ecosystem.
It's about the applications that are built on top of it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so back to the hackathons, though.
Yeah.
Like, how does having all these developers building dApps actually benefit BlockDAG? Like, what's the end goal here?
Well, the more dApps there are, the more useful and attractive the BlockDAG network becomes.
Okay.
Right, so you get more users.
Right.
Which could potentially increase the value of their BlockDAG coin.
Oh, okay, so it's like a snowball effect.
Exactly.
The more developers, the more dApps, the more users, the more valuable the whole ecosystem becomes?
Exactly. That's the idea.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess for you, the listener, what this means is that if you believe in BlockDAG's vision and you think that they're really onto something here,
Yeah.
Getting in early
Could be a good idea.
yeah, could be a really interesting opportunity.
Potentially.
But of course, as always, we have to say, do your own research.
Absolutely.
Don't just take our word for it. Look into it yourself.
And speaking of getting in early, the article mentioned this LANCH 300 bonus code.
Oh, yeah. They did mention that.
Might be worth checking out if you're interested.
Yeah. We'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Perfect.
Okay, so we've talked about the hackathons. We've talked about this whole ecosystem they're building with dApps.
Right.
But let's talk about the technology itself.
Okay.
Like, can it really live up to all the hype? Like, what makes BlockDAG unique? I mean, you mentioned it briefly before, but I think it's worth digging into a little bit more.
Yeah, so it really all comes down to their consensus mechanism, this BlockDAG thing.
Okay.
So unlike a traditional blockchain, which is a single chain of blocks, BlockDAG is more like a web or a graph.
Right. You said that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and this allows for much faster transaction speeds.
Okay.
Because transactions can be added to multiple blocks simultaneously.
So it's like a blockchain on steroids.
That's a good way to put it. They're really trying to solve this scalability problem that has plagued so many other blockchains.
Right. Because, I mean, if you want to have a blockchain that can handle millions of transactions per second, which is what you need if you wanted to go mainstream.
Exactly.
You've got to have some way of doing that without it just getting completely bogged down.
Yeah, you need a system that can handle that kind of volume.
Right. And they're claiming that BlockDAG can do that.
That's what they're saying.
Okay, but, I mean, haven't other platforms, made similar claims before? Like, what makes BlockDAG's approach different or more likely to succeed?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something we're going to delve into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We're going to look at the potential challenges,
Right.
obstacles that BlockDAG might face.
Okay, so stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, you guys.
Back again.
And we were just talking about before the break, we were talking about BlockDAG's technology. And specifically their BlockDAG consensus mechanism. It sounds like it could be really groundbreaking.
It does.
But, we all know that the blockchain space is full of big promises.
Definitely. A lot of hype out there.
Yeah, so we want to, kind of look at this with a critical eye.
For sure.
But what I find really interesting is not just the technology itself, but their strategy. Like they're not just focused on the tech.
Yeah.
They're really trying to build a community, an ecosystem around BlockDAG.
Absolutely.
Right. And we were talking about those hackathons.
Hackathons.
But it's more than just getting developers in a room and saying code.
Right. It's not just about, throwing a pizza party and hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about fostering a sense of ownership by involving developers early on.
Yeah.
They're turning them into evangelists for the platform.
I see. So they get invested in the project.
Exactly. And then those developers go out and they spread the word.
Okay.
They attract more talent. They build momentum.
So it's almost like a grassroots movement.
Kind of. Yeah.
But for blockchain technology.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
And these hackathons are designed to produce real world solutions.
Right.
Not just theoretical concepts.
Exactly. So you could see dApps emerging from these events that could revolutionize industries.
Wow.
Like, finance, healthcare, even how we manage our supply chains.
Okay. So that's pretty exciting. But for the average person out there,
Yeah.
someone who's, maybe they just have some Bitcoin in their Coinbase account. Like, what does all this mean?
Yeah.
Why should they care about BlockDAG and its army of developers?
Well, I think, for the average person, it really comes down to value.
Okay.
The more developers building on BlockDAG, the more useful and attractive the platform becomes.
Right.
Which means
More use.
more users, exactly.
Yeah.
And the more users it attracts, the higher the demand for the BDAG coin could be.
Okay, so theoretically, if BlockDAG really takes off and becomes this blockchain of the future they're aiming for, early adopters could see some serious returns.
Potentially. Yes.
Potentially.
But we always have to say we can't offer financial advice.
Of course.
Any
Okay, yeah.
investment in cryptocurrency comes with risks. It's important to do your own research before making any decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Always good advice. But speaking of making moves, the article also mentioned that BlockDAG is getting listed on 10 major centralized exchanges soon.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So what does that mean for someone who's thinking about investing in BDAG?
Well, for starters, it means increased accessibility.
Yep.
Right now, BDAG is only available on a few smaller exchanges.
Right.
These new listings will make it much easier for people to buy and sell the coin, which could increase liquidity and trading volume.
Okay, so more people can get in on the action.
Exactly.
Does that usually have like an impact on the price?
Often, yes.
Okay.
Increased accessibility and trading volume can lead to price appreciation.
Okay.
But again, there are no guarantees.
Right.
In the crypto world, it's a volatile market.
Yeah.
Things can change very quickly.
True. But this all points to BlockDAG like really stepping up their game.
They are.
They're making moves.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
And for those who, maybe want to be more than just investors, they've got that affiliate program we touched on earlier, right?
That's right. Yeah, you can earn 10% USDT cash back just by referring friends or making purchases.
Okay. Yeah. That's
a pretty sweet deal.
It is a pretty sweet deal.
And it really highlights BlockDAG's commitment to building a community-driven platform.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey, come join us on this journey. And let's all benefit from BlockDAG's success.
Exactly. They want everyone to be a part of it.
Okay, so we've got the tech, we've got the community, we've got the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like BlockDAG is firing on all cylinders.
They are. They're going all in.
But let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any potential like roadblocks
of course.
on their path to becoming, the blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, the blockchain space is incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
And BlockDAG faces some stiff competition from established players.
Right, like Ethereum, Solana, Cardano.
Yeah, those are some big names to go up against.
Yeah, those are the heavy hitters.
They've got massive resources.
Yeah.
Huge communities.
So what makes BlockDAG think they can compete with those guys?
Well, they're betting on their unique technology, their developer-friendly approach, and their focus on real-world utility.
Okay.
So they're basically saying, hey, our BlockDAG tech is faster. Mm-hmm. Our platform is easier to build on, and we're focused on solving real problems.
Okay, but I mean, those are all things we've heard before from other blockchain projects.
True.
So how can they convince developers and users that they're the real deal?
Yeah, that's the challenge.
That they're not just another flash in the pan.
Right, and that's where their strategy gets interesting.
Okay.
Remember those hackathons we talked about?
Yeah.
They're not just about generating hype.
Oh,
they're about showcasing what BlockDAG can do.
Nice.
It's like a proving ground for their technology, where developers can see for themselves how easy it is to build on the platform and create these innovative dApps.
So it's almost like a live demo.
Kind of, yeah.
But on a global scale.
Exactly.
Like they're saying, don't just take our word for it, see it in action.
Exactly. Come and try it out for yourself.
And by focusing on those real-world applications, they're addressing a key criticism of many blockchain projects.
Yeah.
Which is that, they're all theory and no substance.
A lot of vaporware out there.
Yeah. So they want to show that BlockDAG can actually solve real problems.
Real world solutions, make people's lives easier, create value.
So they're aiming to bridge that gap between the technical world of blockchain and the everyday lives of regular people.
Yeah, they want to make blockchain accessible to everyone.
Okay, that's That's ambitious.
It is. It's a big goal.
It is, but it's a smart move if they can pull it off.
For sure.
But the challenge is to actually deliver on those promises.
Right. They have to walk the walk.
Yeah. They have to convince developers that BlockDAG is the best platform to build on. And they have to show users why they should care about these dApps.
Exactly. It's a two-pronged approach.
Okay.
Win over the techies and then show the rest of us why this matters.
But even if they pull that off,
yeah,
can BlockDAG really handle mainstream adoption?
That's a good question.
Like, won't they run into the same, scalability issues that have plagued other blockchains?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Their BlockDAG consensus mechanism is designed to address this. But whether it can handle the kind of transaction volume we see on platforms like Visa or MasterCard remains to be seen.
So it's almost like they're building a rocket ship before they know if it can actually reach space.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
There's a lot of potential, but also a lot of risk.
Right.
BlockDAG is taking a gamble, but it's a calculated one. They're betting on the future of decentralized technology, and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Okay, so what's the bottom line for you, the listener? You've been following along with this deep dive. Did you jump on the BlockDAG bandwagon?
Well, as always, it comes down to your individual risk tolerance and your belief in the project.
Okay.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
Read the white paper.
Yeah.
Understand the technology. And then decide for yourself if BlockDAG is a worthwhile investment.
Right. Okay, well, this has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Exploring the ambitions and the challenges of BlockDAG.
For sure.
It's clear that they're pushing the boundaries of blockchain technology.
They're trying to innovate.
Yeah.
They're trying to do something new.
And it'll be fascinating to see where they go from here.
Absolutely. It's a story that's just beginning.
Yeah, we'll be watching closely.
For sure.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of BlockDAG.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back soon with more insights and explorations into the ever-evolving world of blockchain.
Always evolving. Always something new.
Until then, stay curious. Okay, so we're back, and we've been, really kind of digging deep into BlockDAG's plan to become the blockchain.
Their grand vision.
Yeah, and, they're raising capital, they're partnering with big players, they're attracting developers.
Left and right.
But can they really topple the giants in this space?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the blockchain world it's still very much like the Wild West out there.
Yeah.
Lots of potential, but also a lot of uncertainty.
For sure.
And BlockDAG definitely has some serious hurdles to overcome.
Okay, so what are the biggest challenges they're facing?
Well, first off, the competition is fierce.
Yeah.
You got Ethereum with its massive developer community. You got Solana, known for its speed.
Yeah.
Cardano, with its focus on security.
Right.
These aren't just platforms.
Yeah.
They're ecosystems.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
They're well established.
So BlockDAG has to really carve out its own niche.
Exactly.
It's not enough to just be another blockchain.
Right. They need a unique selling proposition.
So what's their differentiating factor? What makes them stand out from the crowd?
Well, they're really pushing hard on three fronts.
Okay.
Scalability, developer friendliness, and real-world use cases.
Okay, so they're saying, hey, our BlockDAG tech is faster. Our platform's easier to build on.
Yeah.
And we're focused on solving real problems.
Exactly.
Okay, but I mean, haven't we heard those things before from other blockchain projects?
Yeah, you're right. We have.
So how can BlockDAG convince developers and users that they're the real deal?
Right.
That they're not just another flash in the pan?
Well, that's where their strategy, I think, gets really interesting.
Okay.
You remember all those hackathons we were talking about?
Yeah.
They're not just about generating hype. They're about showcasing what BlockDAG can actually do. It's like a proving ground for their technology where developers can come in and they can see for themselves how easy it is to build on the platform and to create these really innovative dApps.
So it's almost like a live demo?
Kind of, yeah.
But on a global scale.
Yeah, exactly.
They're saying, don't take our word for it.
Come and see it.
See it in action.
Yeah, try it out.
And by focusing on real world applications, they're really addressing, I think, a key criticism of a lot of blockchain projects.
Yeah, a lot of projects out there are very theoretical.
Yeah.
Very, very abstract.
They're all theory and no substance.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of vaporware.
Yeah.
And BlockDAG wants to show people that their technology can actually be used to solve problems, to make people's lives easier, to create value.
So they're trying to bridge that gap between the technical world of blockchain and the everyday lives of regular people.
Exactly. They want to bring blockchain to the masses.
Okay, that's ambitious.
It is ambitious, yeah.
But it's a smart move, I think.
It is. If they can pull it off.
Yeah, the challenge is going to be to actually deliver on all those promises.
Absolutely.
They have to convince developers that BlockDAG is the best platform to build on. And then they got to show users why they should care.
Right. It's a two-pronged approach.
Yeah.
Win over the techies first, and then show everyone else why it matters.
But even if they manage to do that, can BlockDAG really handle like mainstream adoption?
That's the big question.
I mean, won't they run into the same scalability issues that have, plagued other blockchains?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Their BlockDAG consensus mechanism is designed to address this, but whether it can actually handle the kind of transaction volume that we see on platforms like Visa or MasterCard, that remains to be seen.
It's like they're building this rocket ship.
Yeah.
Before they know if it can actually reach space.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential here.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of risk.
Right.
And BlockDAG is definitely taking a gamble. But it's a calculated gamble. They're betting on the future of decentralized technology.
Right.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is.
All right. So bottom line, for you, the listener who's been with us on this journey, should you jump on the BlockDAG bandwagon?
Well, as always, it depends. Yeah. This comes down to your individual risk tolerance and your belief in the project.
Okay.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
Read the white paper. Yeah. Really understand the technology.
And then decide for yourself if BlockDAG is something you want to get behind.
All right. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
Yes.
Into the world of BlockDAG.
Yeah.
It's clear that they're really trying to push the boundaries here.
They are. They're ambitious.
They're ambitious.
And that's exciting to see.
It is exciting
in this space.
And it'll be really interesting to see what happens over the next year.
Absolutely.
How this all plays out.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a